This will be a shorter update video. I had three things that I wanted to cover in my time playing with the camera. I reached out to CAF about two things. I reached out about the 3.5 millimeter audio jack not working for microphones, and also for instructions and directions on how to connect the camera to my Quest 3 headset for video playback to see them in VR. They got back to me within 24 hours again with answers to both. I'll share those answers. I'm going to put them up on the screen in a minute. But I continue to be really impressed with how responsive and on top of it they seem to be. The third thing I wanted to talk about is something else I learned about. In the top left of the display, when you're looking at the display on the back of the camera, there's a little icon that you can toggle back and forth between what looks like a mountain or a laptop screen with the mountain on the laptop screen. And I'll show you pictures in a second. What I figured out they did, I couldn't find this anywhere. I couldn't find it in the user manual. I couldn't find it online. What it does is it toggles the display between flat screen that's cropped and a fisheye 180 viewpoint. So it's helpful, and I wish I'd actually known that that was there earlier. It's helpful because it allows you to see what is and isn't included in your shot, especially on the edges of your shot. So if there's things you don't want to show, like the mess in the house, then you can use that fisheye setting to check, what's in my shot before you start shooting. The other setting, the laptop setting, is just a flat screen that's significantly cropped. You can use that one to center in on what do I want to be the center of the shot, but it's going to be hard to tell using that what is and isn't in the edges of the shot, especially on the far left and far right. Might have done that backwards for you. All right, so let me share with you now what CAF said in response to the 3.5 millimeter jack. Their response said, please note that our camera only supports 4-segment TRS connections, more commonly known as TRRS connections. They say if you plug a standard microphone TRS jack into the camera's 3.5 millimeter port, it will not function properly, as the 3.5 millimeter input only supports mono input. We recommend using a Type-C microphone or a Bluetooth microphone instead of a 3.5 millimeter microphone. I have 3 different microphones that I've tested on this camera. This one won't work at all with the 3.5 millimeter jack. I have to use the USB-C connection. I have a second one that's a Movo, I forget the exact model, but it's one of the Movo ones popular on Amazon. It works for a second, like 2-3 seconds of recording, and then the audio cuts out. If I use a USB-C adapter and plug it into the USB-C port, it works fine. Same thing with, I have a third mic. If I plug it into the audio jack, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works briefly for a few seconds and then turns off. I originally thought that it was a power issue, and that if I plugged in the camera to power so that it had power supply, that would fix it. But after a bunch of testing, it doesn't seem to be correlated at all. And I can't tell why it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. I feel like CAF must be aware that there's issues with it, because even they recommend using either the USB-C or just connecting to the camera directly with a Bluetooth mic. They clearly don't recommend using the 3.5 millimeter jack, even though it's supposed to work. The other thing they got back to me about was how to connect my headset. Now, I had been under the impression that it was via Bluetooth. I don't know why I thought that, because their response makes a lot of sense, where there's no way you could transfer large data files over Bluetooth and have it work well. So they said, if you want, you can try connecting it directly with the USB-C cable directly into the camera, directly into the headset. I'm going to show some video footage that I recorded in my headset of me trying that process. It did work. I was able to find the video in the camera that was connected, but I couldn't play back that video. So then I tried copying it over to my device, and then I could then watch it and play it back in my device. Now, it wasn't all that hard to figure out, but realistically, I'm not going to do this process to preview my videos, mainly because I have Skybox, which I much prefer, and my PC is already all set up with Skybox. So it's much easier for me to pull the files from the camera onto my PC, put them in my folder that's connected to Skybox, and then put my headset on, go into Skybox, and preview it there. I think it's faster, it's simpler. Now, Skybox isn't free, but I think I covered everything for now. As I learn more or figure things out about this camera, I'll keep posting. But for now, I'm enjoying shooting. It's been really fun to experiment with different shots and see what the camera can do. I feel like there is a really steep learning curve, but it's fun. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.